I be trying to use this here black mic, and every day, every time I try to use it, it gives me some kind of issue. It's like, I don't want to go live. I don't want to go live. See, I'm going to try it one more again. Let's put this on here. I know it's working, but just putting it on. Hey, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back. Through the eyes of an empath. I'm not still uncomfortable with this on like this, but we're gonna do full armor, and then I will check back on my sounds. Nice, check one. Let's do this. I gotta say, today's gonna be a good day, as every day. Ain't that right? Ain't that right? Okay. We're gonna go to Ephesians 10, where I'm not gonna feel comfortable like this. Because these things have a tendency to go on pause, and I be just a talking, this light start blinking, or either go out, but I'm gonna watch it. So we're at Ephesians 6 and 10, and the first three sentences of this full armor are the it's the reasoning of the full armor, and then we go into the actual arming ourselves. Okay. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day. And having done all to stand, stand therefore having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate uh, girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Amen. You gotta say amen if you want to put it on, if you haven't put it on yet. So I know you guys, we're halfway through the week. You guys are probably cruising in your car on your way to work, resting, getting ready for work, or just getting off work. Or you can just chill and do your work from the bed, from the computer. Anyway it goes. I know that if you're on your way to work, you've already stopped to get your coffee or your tea or whatever you enjoy in the morning. But if you're at home, grab you some sweet tea, as we say here in the South. I've earned that right, even though I'm from Detroit, because I had a son here and I've been here for 19 years on the 23rd. And lemonade, yes, I had to go through all that just to talk say country slang a little bit. And or like me, some water or some Kool-Aid or some pop, ginger ale, soda, whatever. Okay? Just a second. And today I'm going to go into some fresh territory I'm proud to be going in, being a repellent as opposed to a magnet when it comes to attracting toxic entanglements. Hey, this thing, I knew it. If you're going to be giving me problems, I'm going to go ahead and get the pink. I'm going to go ahead and get the pink one because I'm not doing all this. This thing don't want to act right. You know, I only turn it on because of the fans, and I be wanting to get the sound of the fans out the way, but I'm gonna let it roll like this because I think that the music will override the sound of the fans. So I absolutely know that we attract what we're about. I know that because I used to hang out in bars all the time, right? And if somebody knew, because I used to hang out in the neighborhood bar, it would be like what you would call a pub in Detroit. Um, like where all our local the people we grew up with, we went there to the locker room. And so, like if it was a big Pistons game where, you know, that's where our team is. Or if it was a Lions game on or whatever, especially, or Super Bowl time or whatever, you would know that people would be there and they would either be bringing people or people would just see that it's a crowded bar off of 8 Mile, Illinois, and they'd be like, okay, let me pop in there for a minute. You know, they'd be strolling up 8 Mile. They have a Baker's Lounge, which is a famous jazz place where they have great soul food, and they had all these. They played live music, and they had all the greats that performed there before. So it would put you sort of in a mind like a smaller cotton club that you would visualize on a movie or something. It's like really a cool place or whatever. And it's like right before you get to there, and then further down, it's like the those other local neighborhood pubs or whatever. So anytime somebody new would come in, you can sort of see by their how they're presenting themselves. If they are needy, if they are on something, if they're looking for something as far as uh, dope, if they just came in from uh, you know a black and mild whatever plus, you know what I'm saying, and or if they are just somebody who just came from Bakers and they just was out by themselves and they just wanted to see what was going on in there. You could tell by their body language because they're unfamiliar in there. And even though it wouldn't seem like it, everybody would be checking them out in the mirror because it's been shot up a couple times too. And usually it'd be people from different neighborhoods. So anyway, you watch their body language to see what they own. So they have a big mirror where everybody dance at. That's the dance floor. And right directly across from the dance floor was the bar. And everything is around that. So everybody can look in the main mirror to sort of see what's going on with people. You can see when they come in, how they dress, if you even gonna pay them any more attention. Or if you just in your little square with your people, you might look up every now and again and see what they own, if they know how to ballroom dance, or if they lively, or if they just sitting there or whatever. But you would always see that the people that you know they nature, because you grow up with these people, you know their background, or you know them through somebody if you don't know them directly, or you know them through their reputation, they trouble, they always carrying a weapon or whatever. They've they selling, they dealing, they not selling, they're not on nothing, they just coming out. You can tell everybody's everything. And it's always this one guy, he would sit up at the bar. And he used to be in one of those old groups, Commodores or something like that. It was an old group or whatever. But he would always come in and he would sit at the bar. He would come in early because he always be there by the time you get there. 7 o'clock, it'd be still light outside. And he'd be just sitting there where he'd been talking to the barmaid all this time, tipping in the mug. And he don't never get out his seat. But if a nice looking young lady come in there who's present herself like she's closed off, she just listens to music, she brought her own drink or whatever, and she not trying to be, he will actually get out his seat and go introduce himself. If somebody made him get out his seat to go talk to them, that means you want to pay that person some attention, because he have seen they not on no BS. And he could read people. You know he could read people because he was an old timer or whatever. And if you see somebody like the person who was selling go up to somebody as soon as they come in, you already know what they own. Or if you see somebody, even talk to somebody just for a minute, go to the bathroom, come back out, you know what they own. If you see somebody who come in and they just sort of closed off, holding their arms like this, or bottled up like this, and then as time goes on through the night, they start loosening up. You know they're not used to drinking. They about to either act a fool, or they about to leave, or they about to get really too loose. All that to say, you attract who you are. You attract what you own. You attract, um, if you are truly living a life on your straight and narrow path, people might be attracted to you, but by the time they come up to you face to face, your presence, your essence, it'd be like, oh, okay. Have you ever seen somebody with real long braids and they just walk in, they got a nice figure or whatever, and then a young guy starts speeding up to catch up to her, see her face, what her face look like, to see if she young, if she older or whatever. And then he see her face and then he keep walking. Because even though she looked like from the back she's young, as soon as you see her face, she's older. She look like she ain't about no nonsense. Or in the face, she look too young. As soon as they see your essence, not your figure, not your clothes, but your essence, as soon as you speak, if they can't figure it out by what you got on, as soon as you speak, you be like, hey, what's up? What's up? Hi, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. Can I get this door for you? You sure can. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You're welcome. My mom taught me to be good, nice to women. Okay, well, I appreciate that. And if she goes on or give him too much energy, then he gonna be like, okay, well, she's about it. She like younger guys, or well, she not out of um, she's not out of my league. She don't feel like she's out of my league. So I'm gonna keep talking and see, shake a tree and see what fall. And just like if you walk in and they be like, he see your essence, and then he be like, hey, what's up? What's up? Let me get this door for you real quick. You don't say nothing going in. You don't say thank you or nothing. Hey, hold on, real quick, hold on, real quick. Like, you ain't with nobody. Mm-mm. Uh-uh. I had to do this. I gotta play a character, y'all. Picture me with Lord Praised. Mm-mm. And what you about to pay for some gas? You about to pump it? Let me pump your gas. All right. Hold on, let me get me some more dumb. I don't know how young people act no more. I don't go nowhere. But let's just say, okay, y'all put some cool on it. Y'all cool. Okay? Give me some milk out. Okay. Oh, this is you right here? Mm-hmm. Now, does she put her roll? I mean, does she go stand outside the car and watch you pump? Does she get in the car and roll down her passenger window and lean over and talk to you? Or is she giving the body language, like start switching a little bit or walking a little bit further so she can show you her body more? Or she just like slowly going? She don't say thank you when you open or shut the door because she's not considerate. She's not like, she's used to that. That ain't nothing to her. And so she's like, you supposed to do that. And then so, whether you're a stranger or not, it's different with a stranger than if you're seeing somebody, you know. And so, I'm so used to hold the bite. And so, let's say she is standing outside watching him pump the gas. So, what you got up today? I ain't getting into, I ain't had nothing planned, but why, what's up? What's up with you? That he already know what category she's in. He already know what she's on. He already know that if he was a different person in the same position, she would be talking the same way. It's nothing special about him. It's just a conversation she would have with anybody with those same words. It don't take nothing for her to open her world up to you. So you already put her in a category. Okay, first let me find out what neighborhood she stay in, how many kids she got. Let me see how much further this category will go. Okay, what you stay around here? Yeah, let me pull up on you. What? Let me get your wait. You on social media? What's your Instagram? I know young people do that more. And so, what's your Instagram? Well, uh, uh, I'm not giving out my Instagram, but I'll take yours. Okay. She seeing somebody, she on some BS. She's opening her world a little bit, but it might just be to see what you on, if you really got money or whatever. She on some nonsense. Every question you ask answers 10. Every action you make answers 20. Even inside of your car. Do you have a car seat in there for a baby? Do you have toys in there? Is your car junky? Has your car been washed in the past? Does it look, somebody got something written from the dirt on your car? Wash me. um, do you have a hoopty? Do you take pride in your hoopty? You know, everything means something. So, what I noticed is young guys used to try to talk to me all the time, but it would be a particular kind of young guys because they would see my tattoos. And I would be walking a lot of times because I wasn't driving. I would be driving sometimes, but I usually wasn't in that type of neighborhood. If I was driving, I'd be driving to like a nicer neighborhood or whatever. So I would be thinking to myself, why do they feel so comfortable approaching me? That's what I'd be thinking to myself. Like, I'd be thinking that to myself, like, young guys would be approaching me. I'm like, can't they see that I'm a mother? Can't they see that They can't see none of that in me. And then all they can see is my tattoos. The fact that I was overly friendly because I thought that was humble, being humble meant. I thought being humble meant being friendly. Not being in men's faces or nothing, but just if somebody speak to you, being too friendly. And feeling like I owed that to them. That if somebody um, gave me a compliment and tried to talk to me further, that I wouldn't want to look stuck up, so I'd just be talking a little bit more or whatever. Um, if somebody is looking at me from a distance and then they still come up to me and then be like, they be on look at me from head to toe from a distance, but then they get up on me and you could tell that, look, you could tell I'm older, and they get up on me or whatever, and then they still felt comfortable. They'd be like, hey, Miss Lady, how you doing today? Like, boy, I'm old enough to be your mom. What you mean? What you mean? I got a son your age. Like, you ain't older. I'm 35. I'm like, okay. How old are you? I'm like, I'm a woman of a certain age. I'm too old for you. And they feel comfortable. It don't matter. They feel comfortable. Now, I go into a pizza place to, grab a pizza or whatever, the same area. Go to beauty supply in that area or whatever. Even somebody who just sitting on curb, they'll get up and they'll open my door for me. They don't expect nothing else. I'll be like, thank you. Be like, you welcome. No problem. And that's it. They don't want nothing else. No conversation or nothing. Or if a guy see me and we make contact, and then even if he like a thug looking guy, and I just give him a brief smile, like, hi, but I keep walking. He already know I'm not offering nothing. He already know I'm the type of person who greet people with a smile. Whereas before, it felt like people, to me, felt like if you're nice to people, they take it as you flirting. That's what it felt like to me. So much so that I had did a lot of my TikToks where I lip sync was not just to lip sync and act. They were making statements. I was bringing up thought-provoking conversations in 1 minute time where it looked like a commercial break, but it's something that's thought-provoking, where I just posted from 2002, where, well, it was from 2001 to 2025. They come up on the one on this day, and you can pick which ones from on this day from those years that you want to go ahead and post. And so one of them had where uh, this guy, he was like, um, I'm just pulling in my U-Haul, and I told my family that I'm moving in with you. And she was like, what made you think you're moving in with me? He was like, well, I spent the night over here, and you made me breakfast this morning. She was like, okay. He was like, and you washed my clothes here? She was like, okay. Friends, I told you I wasn't looking for nothing. You gotta look on my TikTok account. Uh, uh, I am love 714. But she was like, I just now posted it. I think it's 2 posts from the last post. But anyway, she was like, okay, friends, I told you I wasn't looking for nothing serious. And he was like, um, yeah, but you was being all nice to me. And she was like, okay, that's what friends do. Friends are nice to each other. And then he was like, well, okay, well, can you at least give me gas money? So she was like, you want to move in? You talk about me giving you gas money? She started getting ready to go ahead and go in the house, like leaving him out there with the U-Haul. And it was just like, because it was something that I had thought to myself when I saw that, when I was getting ready to do it years ago before my spiritual awakening. Like, some people, you be nice to them on Facebook, and even this woman had went out her way to call me a Facebook slut because I would compliment. This was back when I was friendlier. Now I look back on it and see what she was saying. But I would compliment people and I would go too far. So I'd be like,
I'm glad they didn't show everybody like they do now, but like one person, I would be like, but a lot of my friends knew each other too. So one person I would be like, um, but I don't stop doing something if it's something from my heart now and I want to do it. If I haven't seen a friend for a long time posting and they finally post again, then I'd be like, where you been? How you been doing? I see you haven't been posting in a long time. I have thought about you. I just thought about you or whatever. I'm glad everything's well with you. I love you. And, you know, they say nothing back. We grew up together. But anyway, but I would be like, um, you're looking good, and then I make a thumbs up, and then I say something to somebody else, hey, what's up, how you doing, how you been? I would just talk too much to guys, you know, but I'm thinking to myself, they'd be poking me and stuff, and I don't never poke back because it felt a little bit too like personal. So I would just be like, on their page, if they come down my page, I'd be like, hey, how you been doing, what's up, hey, how you been? You looking good, you know. But now, it's just like I might do a thumbs up, post thumbs up, but not make a post under it. Or if I say happy birthday, unless it was real close and they not married or something like that. But when I say happy birthday, I used to do birthday videos, and I would do birthday videos of people that I really liked, as far as my friends. That would just be my friends. And I would do a birthday video. I would go through all their pictures, and I would take, you know, whenever I did anybody's videos, I would take a couple hours to do it because I would do it by hand, like take the picture, make a splash on it, make a cake on it, make somebody blowing out the cake on a picture, slide the picture, spin the picture, go into a video clip, come out the video clip, and I would post music, not gospel music, unless it was somebody who I thought of with gospel music. But I would play stuff like MC Bree, Ain't No Future in Front, and whatever comes to my mind when I think of that person, even though I'm walking my path, I didn't want to put music with them that didn't match their character. So I would do that on my friends' videos, and I would make a statement about what I saw about them through my eyes, because I was seeing the best in people. And so I would be like, even like on Halloween, one of my friends dressed like a pimp, and I was like, I see you dressing up like your alter ego, and you extra fly too. And he was with his wife, and your lady, that's your number one. She looking fly too, just like you, you know. And on the birthday videos, I'd be like, since we was younger, you always been the adult in the room, but with childlike energy. I think that you're so cool. You always stay cool. You always stay 100. You always stay real. And I just wanted to say happy birthday, and I wish you many more, and maybe sending you love and light, something like that or whatever. But now I toned it all the way down, but I'm still me. Because I still, is one person I call Pooh because he's much younger than me, and when I got involved in a relationship, I was like, okay, I can't no longer call you Pooh because I'm in a relationship. But it's just a Pooh like, what's up, Pooh? But I've been knowing him for about 6 years. And I've seen him grow, and, you know, but he stayed here in Augusta. But I never met him in life. But we just real cool. He support me, and I support him. He's a real good guy. He helped his friends move. He helped his younger sister with the kids, and he's just this type of guy that I would want my oldest son to hang around. He got that kind of energy. And so I toned it all the way down. But I noticed that how you feel about yourself. I notice how you feel about yourself. It's usually how you come across. And people can see in you what they're not looking for or what they are looking for. And I noticed at first when I stopped talking to a lot of people, whatever, I could feel a negative energy towards me. I could feel this energy that's like, I've changed too much at once, and um, they can't wait to see me fall. I'll be back. And I had changed everything about myself because certain people love to see my hair in an afro. And they always complimented me when I had an afro and said I was beautiful. But when I didn't have an afro, they would never say nothing. And then my somebody else close to me had said that they love when I wear my hair straight with the black or whatever. And I have my eyes, when I do my eyes a certain way. So I'll never do it like that again. And I had stopped wearing afros. I had went straight to straight hair, and I just changed everything about myself. I didn't want to identify with my old self on the outside, and I was doing the work on the inside or whatever. So now, as time has went on, and there's a complete look that matches, is in sync with actually who I am. There's no longer a pull on my spirit. There's no longer a feeling of denial of who I'm saying I am. There's no longer this energy that I feel that's like, uh, what does she think she's doing? There's no longer this feeling when I go somewhere that if it's an all white place, they looking at me like, what am I doing here? It's no longer this feeling of when somebody, when I say hello to somebody and they trying to speak further to me and I'm still walking, but I'm saying briefly where they can sort of hear me fade out. Oh, okay, thank you. I don't even hear what they said. But I let them know that I'm ending the conversation by continuing to walk. And they can respect that because they don't be like, hey, I said, so, no, I didn't say that. I didn't. And it's just like I'm a repellent now. It's just like they're not seeking me. They're not seeking my company because they know I'm not on no nonsense. I'm not uppity. I'm not arrogant. I got confidence and I got confidence, but I'm not bourgeois, no none of that. But I have found who God says I am, and she has surfaced. And now people who once saw me as a play toy can no longer look at me and see that person in me. They trying to see it somewhere. They're trying to see where is that person at. They cannot see it. And if they see something briefly in me, even this much, I remember I had made a post and I had changed my profile picture, and it was about 2 months ago, and on Facebook. My personal page, I only have like 120 or 30 people on my Facebook. And I had changed my profile picture, but I was like in between poses. I didn't have no lashes on, like I didn't have no lashes on yesterday. And I was like, it seemed like I take the best pictures when I'm in between poses. But when I took the picture, it looked like the old me because in between poses, you could see I wasn't trying to pose. You can see I'm going from this, like this, to something like getting ready to pose again, but the in between image. So I made that on my profile picture. And I didn't keep it up because actually it was too intimate looking to me. It looked to me like if somebody was trying to do something with my image, it looked too much like my personality was in that image. Too much. As opposed to posing, that's why a lot of times I'll make a photo video instead of pictures because I'm moving and you can see I'm just posing and trying to pose and I'm not trying to be caught off guard eating, like drinking something, and then you be like, hey, uh, heads up, I'm taking a picture. Be like, huh? Or you know how I was showing how you can see somebody live in the picture, and then somebody you don't know somebody's taking a picture, and I'm reading the Bible, and they just taking a picture of me. You can see my essence that right now I'm coming with a message. I'm not in my everyday, all day, just chilling, just relaxing, uh, just don't have no jewelry on, just doing me, wrap this up some kind of way, to put the scarf on, no earrings on, just looking like, that reminds me, I'm supposed to be doing this. There we go. And not like I'm performing, but I'm being professional. I'm doing what each situation calls for. If I'm taking pictures, I'm posing. And if I'm doing, bringing a word from the Lord, if I'm bringing a message forth, then I'm on my professional. I'm here to do something. I'm not here to just be like, hey y'all, hey, what's up? I'm being me, y'all. Yeah, so anyway, so I was telling y'all about, all relax. So one time, I used to ask my son, my youngest son, I used to ask him, what's on your mind? What's wrong? I would feel when something's wrong with him. And he would always be like, ain't nothing wrong. Ain't nothing wrong. But finally, now when I say, what's wrong? And then he'd be like, I want to talk about it. Be like, is it something that's you